Peace and safety, my friends. Peace and safety. It's another entry into Nero, Altair, and Ox's Witchcraft. Tonight I wanted to talk about with you dream interpretation, how it can connect with the dark moon, and just different ways to make sense and interpret your dreams, and how you can make the connection to your everyday life. I will be referring to my Dark Moon Grimoire again. Beautiful grimoire by Kate Froller, Blood and Bones. Highly recommend. You can get on Amazon. You're looking into it as well to get your own copy. I'll be referring to it and analyzing it with my own words after I give the foreword by Kate Froller. So let us begin tonight's Coven Conversation. Dream interpretation. One of the most personal forms of divination is interpreting your own dreams. Divination meaning fortune tellings or signs. Dreams can be especially meaningful when you experience the dark moon current in your life, or also when you're experiencing the dark moon. Also means a time of transformation, time of change. So that can also be another time when you might be having many deep sets of dreams. As you go through a transition of some kind, transitions, or you can intentionally encourage lucid dreams during the dark moon. As I also try to practice lucid dreaming, to try to remind myself that I am dreaming, and this can also help change your dream realm to make yourself more aware of the dream itself, which can also be used in your dream journal to write down your occurrences, and which will also help with revelations of your dreams as well, of your dreamscape, your astral scape in your dreams. The dark moon is a time when your dreams may be meaningful in terms of the active under occurrences of your life. Things deep inside you that you're stirring and affecting or things that are stirring and affecting your waking life. If you dream, you can also keep a dream journal. It can be a handwritten or in your notes, and just try and jot down. It doesn't have to be a whole paragraph. If you're like me, I like to scribe a good amount of definitions about what happened in my dreams. Even if you don't take a dream journal, lately I'll just have a dream and I'll go over it as soon as I'm awake and just go over what the dream was and do research on some of the signs, maybe some of the names you might have remembered from your dream, and so on. But having a dream journal definitely helps, because a lot of the times you forget a lot afterwards, especially when you're going about the rest of your day. You might forget the certain methods or the certain divinations that were in the dream. So I highly recommend writing it down. You write your dreams down every time you wake. You may notice patterns that match the moon phases, or just that match your dreamscapes in general. For K4 are straightforward and literal dreams that apply to my mundane waking life usually occur around the full moon, which would make sense. The full moon represents full illumination of the outer self. The dark moon, darker side, your inner self. Another way to think about it, earthly matters when the full moon is illuminating your dreamscape, and inner matters when the dark moon is illuminating your dreamscape. During the dark moon, dreams can become stranger, darker, and even distressing as they turn your attention to your inner issues, your darker issues, as they say. During the waxing and waning phases, when the moon has some dark energy and light energy, you sometimes see transitions between the two accordingly. Well, everyone is different. You may notice your own patterns when you start recording your dreams, depending on how influenced by lunar phases you are. I am personally a lunar witch, a night witch, and I invoke a lot of energies of nature, of the air, and of the earth. So the moon phases and the night have a high occurrence on my dreamscape and how I feel. But that's not to say that sometimes you might have dreams that aren't invoked with that certain lunar phase. So always expect the unexpected. While these books are helpful for learning purposes, and also if you're referring to books, which you can, as I'm referring to this book. Dream interpretations ranging from in-depth self-analysis to lists of meanings and definitions. Kate Fowler leans more towards the ones that urge to figure out the symbolism, which is what I also go for, the symbolism, not for rather concise lists, because your dreams will always be concise to yourself and who you are, not necessarily to, how should I put it? They'll always be concise to who you are and what's going on in your life. So you should never look at it as something that can be always definite, if you know what I mean. It's always going to be a way that you'll have to interpret it according to your own life. And that's how I also use this guide, and how I use on my grimoires with symbolism and guides to help redefine and help attain myself and help track the symbolism in myself. It's more of just a reference. Like, for instance, she puts an example about, if say someone would dream about a snake. For me, a snake represents Ouroboros, like rebirth, regeneration. But for some of you, a snake might represent revulsion, terror, what you fear. So that dream would be specific to you. Is going to represent a symbolism of fear, not regeneration. And for me, the snake in my dream would represent Ouroboros, regeneration, rebirth. So I always tell them to keep that into accordance. While a book with definitions can be interesting and helpful, it's a guide only. It may not always work for you. And that's how I always try to take it. As she says, it's more of a guide and a reference to help. Dreams often reveal what's in your subconscious mind that you haven't even admitted to yourself yet, providing you with an opportunity for growth and self-actualization, and a means to look inside your psyche and into your true self, and even the things you haven't even told yourself about. Your psyche, your mind always knows, and is always observing. When we dream, Kate Fuller believes we're directly linked to the spirit, as do I. I feel like we're directly linked to our spirit, to other spirits, and to the astral realm itself. Spirit can speak directly to us in our sleep to give us guidance. It does so in the most direct, personal way possible, especially as being a lunar witch and a night witch. When you're dreaming, when you're sleeping, you're in the complete darkness. So I feel that is one of the times we are completely connected to the night, to the lunar energies. So if you also want to invoke those in your workings, definitely starting to get more practice with the dreamscape and just writing your dreams and taking it in more and analyzing it will help. I believe will help your connection to the dark moon, to the lunar moon, and to the night energies. It does so in the most direct, personal way possible. Therefore, it will show you symbols that you know the meaning of, usually. But sometimes not always. Sometimes you might have, for instance, for myself, a random dream that you might think is random, but once you start to piece it back and really look at it, you can see how it fits into your natural waking life and also into your inner self sometimes. So let's say, to use an example, let's say you can't understand why you keep dreaming about wolves or a certain animal. So you're prompted to research their meaning only to discover that they make perfect sense to your situation. And that's usually how it will go. It will be most of your dreams will relate to your situation in a way. So that's why a lot of guides you can't take for really face value. You can just see how it connects to your waking life, your life, and then you can go from there. This was spirit directing you through your dreams. All that being said, the more you learn about animals and objects and symbols in the collective unconsciousness, the more the spirit has to work with in terms of getting messages to you. That's why it's always good to just do research and always look into learning more about symbolism, about different animals, their meanings, what they can represent. Because like Kate Fowler says, it allows the dreamscape, the astroscape, the spirit, and the dark energies of the night and lunar energies to message you and contact you in more ways. interpreting symbols in your dreams. Dreams that you have during the dark moon may be especially telling in terms of your inner self and your shadow work. Understanding what the symbols and dreams meant to tell you is important. If you have a dream about an object or animal, but you don't make an association, take a pen and paper and make a mind map. Write the word in the middle of the page and all around it. Then write down literally every single thought associated with it that comes to your mind. Don't struggle with this, let the thoughts come forward without forcing them, even if they seem random or silly. She gives a little picture of her mind map, kind of like a bubble chart in a way, with the central thought being in the middle, and your thoughts expressing from the sides and seeing how they connect. For her, for several dark moon cycles in a row, she had dreams about a zebra, and she didn't know why. And at the time, she was struggling with many of her own social insecurities and anxieties while having to fit in with a specific group of peers. Which, in a way, I've been struggling with my own social insecurities and anxieties, and a lot of us have. She felt miserable because she felt so different from them, as we all do, especially as a Witch Wiccan. We all feel different and ostracized, sometimes by even the ones closest to us, and it's never a good feeling. But the mind map she said she made was extremely random, but as I read it out, you can kind of see how they connected. She drew one from the zebra going up. A zebra can't change its stripes, but she connected that to herself by saying, being my true self, embracing what makes me me. As you should always do, embrace what makes you yourself, because that is beautiful. That is what you are meant to do. We are not meant to come in this world to be something that we're not. We're meant to embrace our truest selves, our authentic selves, and that brings beauty and the vibrance of life, the variety, uniqueness of life. She also goes to connect that zebras are camouflaged when in a group. Zebras use their stripes to confuse predators while in a herd. And she connected that to herself, saying a desire to disappear into the crowd and fit in. Sometimes I felt like we all get those moments where sometimes we just feel like we'd rather fit in. But honestly, I've always never really wanted to fit in. But sometimes, you know what I mean, when you're always that one person standing out, you start to feel ostracized, which can make you want to have some feeling of belonging. We all want to belong. Some of us more than others, but sense of belonging always feels nice. She also connected from a childhood memory of hers on a bus tour of an animal sanctuary where zebras live. The bus broke down. The driver was extremely distressed, which made her feel very sad on her behalf. As many of us Witch Wiccans are natural empaths. We naturally can connect to people's energies in many ways. And then she drew from that her empathy and sympathy for others, as I also have a high empathy and sympathy for others. She draws another thought, misfits of the equine world. They're familiar like horses, yet wild and completely different. And she connects that to herself, saying, I'm just like everyone else, only with my own twist. As we all are, we're all beautiful life, but with our own beautiful twist, our own beautiful uniqueness, that we should embrace and not let anyone try to make us feel ostracized and make us feel that we shouldn't. No, embrace that, my brothers and sisters. Your difference is what helps make you beautiful, and you are meant to embrace that and share that your beautiful gift of uniqueness with the world. So embrace that and never be ashamed of that. And her last thought was, they're often trapped in the zoos for human entertainment, which is sad. Another empathetic and sympathetic aspect. And she also drew from that a fear of being singled out as different, and therefore left out and gawked at like a spectacle instead of fitting in. Which I've also felt like that. You know what I mean? Especially being a Witch Wiccan, I naturally stand out. But I've started to grow a little more comfortable with that. It takes time to, And that goes with a lot of accordance with self-love. Just loving yourself and knowing that your genuine self and who you are is beautiful, and the right people will embrace that. And a lot of those people that don't understand it, and don't even understand themselves, so it shouldn't be something to worry about. We weren't meant to come into this world to all be like each other. We're meant to be ourselves, and that's beautiful. So be yourself, my brothers and sisters. And in her conclusion, she found that the zebra was telling her to be herself, and that her uniqueness was what made her interesting and valuable, and that not blending in was okay. And she was like everyone else, but with a twist, and as we all are. And that's something I can learn from that too. That not fitting in and just being. I've never had a problem being myself, but lately, I don't know. Lately I've just been kind of ostracized. But I feel like ostracized, alone. But I've still been able to connect to others and help them, and that's helped me feel that I'm not alone. And I see that a lot of us go through similar feelings, so I'm not alone in that. And you're never alone. I'm always there for y'all, mind, body, and spirit. This world can be such a better place if we're just all there for each other. So I try to be there for all my brothers and sisters, and be the change that is needed in this world. So maybe that mind map can help y'all. Well, already from her mind map, I learned a little bit about myself. So maybe just from that example too, you can learn a little bit about yourself. As for prophetic dreams that might be a prophecy of something to come. Deja vu can also be sometimes when we have moments in waking life that we feel we've already experienced, that can be explained as deja vu. I have that a lot, and it's such an interesting matter, because you don't know when it'll come, but you can just feel it. You just know, like, oh, I experienced this before. And it's usually from a dream, and then that dream, instance of it, will already come. It's quite magnificent. And as she goes to say, another type of dream you might be having during the dark moon phase is a prophetic dream. And sometimes not even during the dark moon phase. Prophetic dreams happen a lot throughout history. There's been many brothers and sisters who also have prophetic dreams about occurrences. Prophetic dreams mean they warn you of something in the future. Some are very clear and concise, showing exactly what will happen. This has been noted by many people. When someone they love is in an accident or passes away, this person appears in their dreams or at the moment it happens. My experience, for others' experience, prophetic dreams are nowhere near so direct. However, when they happen, I know it. And I agree. I agree with her. Just like I said, like, sometimes they are really direct for me. Like, I'll be like, okay, I'll see is the action is starting to come. I'm like, okay, I've seen this before. I've dreamt this. Sometimes you don't really realize the prophetic dream, deja vu, until it really happens that moment. So let me know how it is for you, my brothers and sisters, how deja vu and prophetic dreams come to you. Just let me know in the comments what are your thoughts about dream interpretation, and if this helped you maybe be able to interpret your dreams a little bit better. She goes to give an example of once she was dating someone, and she wasn't sure whether or not it'd be a good decision to move in with him. She had a dream where he was surrounded by dancing, smiling blonde women. She goes to say, sounded like she was having a dream about jealousy. But then once she told her boyfriend about it, he confessed that he actually been dating 2 other women at the same time as her. And she goes on to say that sometimes dreams show us things that are worth digging into before making a big life change. And a lot of times they will show us things inner and outer of ourselves, and things to come, things to change, or ways we can change ourselves. And she gives a ritual you can do to encourage prophetic or insightful dreams that I will go on to I will do with y'all. You can perform it. She says to perform it during the dark moon phase to gain guidance on deep inner issues, or you can also just perform it every night. Her ritual starts with a tea made of herbs associated with psychic powers, such as rose, jasmine, star anise, can make your own loose tea or purchase tea bags of these flavors. A square of black cloth, large enough to hold the herbs and stones. A bowl, a tablespoon each of dried mugwort, eyebright and lavender, amethyst, moonstone, selenite, and string. You assemble these things ahead of the time near your bed. Let the tea steep while you are in the bath. Have a dark moon bath ritual as outlined in chapter 3. We haven't went over that, but I will go over that with y'all. You go straight to bed afterwards. You lay the black cloth out to your nightstand or carefully on your bed. Place the herbs in the center of it and add the crystals. You will have evoked the feeling of the power of the dark moon already in your bath. Hold your hands over the mixture over your tea. And you can also recite this incantation before you sleep. As I invoke a lot of spell incantations through the air, through talking. So I'd still say, even if you don't have the tea, invoking this spell incantation before you rest can still help on some of those energies. Mysteries of the dark, spirits of dreams, I invite you to come to me. Show me your messages, guide me on my journey regarding your question or your issue that you want to dream, or your question or your issue that you want to reside with the dark current, the lunar current, or your inner or outer self in the dream realm. Then she goes to say, tie up the cloth securely with string in place, and beneath your pillow, you drink the tea and go to sleep. And don't forget to write down what you dream and use the mind map technique if necessary. So that's one incantation and spell that you can use, and a method ritual that you can use. I'll say the spell one more time. Mysteries of the dark, spirits of the dreams, I invite you to come to me. Show me your messages, guide me on my journey regarding the question or issue. Our final point, she goes to say, sometimes during our dreams, during the dark moon phase, the lunar moon phase, full moon phase, or just during our dreams in general, sometimes you'll dream about people you know who have died, whether people close to you or maybe an artist or someone you enjoyed, just living another spirit. And sometimes this could be the spirit trying to just visiting you and checking up on you. She says to go on that is the spirit world is closer and more accessible to us during the astral realm during our dreams, which I also agree with. When you have lost someone you care about, it's normal to dream about them, especially if they were close to you. A relationship you had to them was catalytic in your waking life. And sometimes that death can be a psychological death too, like a girl leaving you, or a death of a relationship. It doesn't always have to mean the death of the life existence itself. So it's something also to keep in mind. Death can be represented in many different ways. Sometimes this is felt to be a visit from their spirit. They're coming to say hello from the afterlife. And it can leave you with a nice feeling like you've seen them again. This doesn't apply to night terrors or nightmares about their death. If you have recurring night terrors, it's possible you should seek grief counseling or talk to someone you trust. Or just meditate upon that and see what internally might be bothering you. When someone who has passed away appears in a dream, not a nightmare, or someone with some kind of death of a sort, whether it just be transitioning away from you, it's often just a gentle reminder that they still care about you. Think about the role they played in your dream, what they said and what they were doing, what they feeling they gave you, or they tried to tell you something. Some believe that this is spirit reaching out from the afterlife to let you know that they are okay or to comfort you. If you keep dreaming of someone who passed from this life who was a negative influence while living, analyze the role they played in your dream. Were they there to symbolize something to you, perhaps past trauma that hasn't completely healed? They may also represent fears. If you do feel their spirit intruding on your dreams, a banishment ritual may be in order to remove them from your dreamscape and your landscape. And that's where we'll conclude on tonight's Coven discussions. Just a little review. During the dark moon, during the full moon, prophetic dreams, good to always take notes of. They can be used to just give enlightenment into how we are doing in our waking life, and also into our inner psychological minds. So they're always good to study. Keeping a dream journal is a good way. Taking notes on your dreams is a good way to help analyze the dreams and what they might be trying to tell you, as well as the astral and the spirit realms and what they're trying to tell you. People you see in your dreams matter as well, whether they be living or dead. So it's also good to keep accordance into the people and places you're at and what those symbolisms may mean. So yeah, I thank you for joining me. This has been Nero, Altair, Nox, Witch Wiccan Craft. Just a little bit about dream interpretation of the lunar cycle, the dark moon path, and of just the astral dreamscape. I thank you for joining me, and may peace always be upon you. May Night Goddesses Diana, Artemis, Selene bless you and offer you good dreams. I hope this helps you maybe be able to symbolize, gain some clarification on your dreams and what they might mean, to help maybe give you clairvoyance and divinations and fortunes of what your dreams mean and how they can help you to understand yourself, your inner self, and your outer self. So I thank you, and I'll see you again on our next Coven Conversations, my friends. May peace be upon you. Blessed be the Night Goddess. I'll see y'all again soon. Till then, take care, and may the astral, may the dark moon current, the lunar moon current, and the night flow with you and offer you peace. Thank you. See you again soon.